of Exercise Alon 2023. We are now in today's field training exercise area here in Naval Station Luivildug, Antioquia, San Antonio, Zambales. As you can see by a red flag. On your left and right are also hidden battle positions, and with the main enemy battle positions in our rear, also with red flags hoisted. As the battle progresses, we can move around the viewing area to get a better glimpse of our surroundings during the exercise. We would also like to remind everyone that all exercise participants will be using blank ammunition, battle noise sound effects, and pyrotechnics to simulate a battlefield environment for better appreciation of the audience. Additionally, jet noise may also be experienced. Medical personnel are on standby to immediately attend to emergencies. Exercise Alon is a dynamic initiative that stands as a testament to our commitment to bolstering bilateral cooperation and interoperability within our armed forces. The primary objective of this exercise is to elevate the effectiveness of combined operations. These operations, in turn, are designed to fortify the capabilities of the Marine Amphibious Ready Unit, elevate our competence in special operations, and bolster our coastal defense capabilities. These efforts are in direct alignment with the operationalization of the Marine Corps operating concept of archipelagic coastal defense. Moreover, this year's amphibious event is geared towards conquering gaps in conducting combined operations and improving tactics, techniques, and procedures in order to ensure the effective employment of all combat arms integrated via force-level command and control. As much as possible, this event is intended to simulate a real-time scenario while making sure that the execution can be observed by evaluators and spectators. Hence, our battle area was compressed within the limits of our field of observation. I will now hand over the floor to our Exercise Control Group Directors, Lieutenant Colonel Tim Fricker from the Australian Defence Force, 1st Australian Division, and Lieutenant Colonel Almazan for the Armed Forces of the Philippines from the Philippine Marine Corps. They will explain the actions of the opposing and friendly forces as we watch the events unfold during the morning's exercise.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. As a background to our scenario, the fictional country of Calabania has been continuously claiming international waters and asserting ownership over independent countries. These actions have led to various conflicts in our region. Among the countries that Calabania has claimed is the island of Tinia. They seized the opportunity to assert their claim over the island when a massive earthquake generated a large tsunami that directly struck Tinia. Calabania launched a humanitarian assistance and disaster relief operation under the pretext of assisting the people of Tinia. They carried out amphibious landings of expeditionary forces on the island, successfully completing an invasion with minimal loss of life. However, this action caused panic and confusion within the international community. The said event sparked a major conflict, and Calabania has begun to land forces in other island nations, including the Philippines, especially in the vicinity of Palawan and here in Zambales. This can be observed from the flags hoisted in trenches constructed by the enemy.
As the situation intensified, the Philippines then sought assistance from the Australian government. With Calabania strengthening its position, the Australian government quickly responded and tasked the Australian Defence Force to work with the Armed Forces of the Philippines in securing Zambales and Palawan. Earlier this week, a combined assault was conducted by Filipino and Australian forces with support from US Armed Forces in order to secure key terrain in Palawan. Following the success of this operation, the combined force then moved north to defeat the remaining adversary force elements in Zambales. As a precursor to the amphibious operations, the Joint and Pre-Landing Force Reconnaissance Report from the Joint Pre-Landing Force based on the 2nd Battalion, the Royal Australian Regiment, has subsequently now enabled the task group to plan and execute an amphibious landing through a combination of surface that will occur to your front and air mobile insertions prior to a subsequent clearance of the adversary main defensive position to your rear.
We are now witnessing a military freefall, a technique used to deploy military personnel, equipment, and supplies from a transport aircraft at high altitudes. This involves freefall parachute insertion to secure the area and isolate the main body of the enemy from their defensive positions on the beach. At a certain altitude above the ground, our parachutists or individual canopies enter parachutes as they proceed to their designated landing patterns after calculating the wind speed and identifying its direction. After safely landing into the designated drop zones, the said team will now proceed to their designated objective as described in intelligence reports. As a unit with a very small footprint, the team tactically moves, encircling enemy camps, identifying heavily armed and fortified posts, hostage hideouts, enemy speeders' nests, obstacles, bridges, early warning devices, and establishments of both tactical and strategic importance. They then report all of the tactically relevant information to the command group in order for the commander to strategically calculate the overall operations. Calabania occupies multiple countries in the region. A large coalition and joint task force is pushing back against the Calabanian invasion. Furthermore, the remaining forces in the Philippines are also striving to repel the Calabanian forces and thwart their attempts to expand their presence within the country. And today, ladies and gentlemen, here in Zambales, what you are about to witness is a combined amphibious operation by both nations with support from the U.S. Armed Forces with the goal of recapturing the lands currently under enemy occupation. To further elaborate on amphibious operation, it is a military maneuver initiated from the sea. It involves an amphibious force embarked on ships with the primary objective of deploying a landing force onto the shore to successfully execute the assigned mission. Amphibious operations require a high level of training and the necessary platforms to ensure success. It has played a crucial role in the significant military achievements of the armed forces of the Philippines and its allies over the years. For this particular segment of Exercise Alon, the amphibious operations will involve an amphibious assault. Typically, amphibious assaults exploit the element of surprise under the cover of darkness. Therefore, all the events you will observe are assumed to take place at night. The locations and size of certain forces, as well as the timeline, have been adjusted to fit the approved exercise area. Meanwhile, on the enemy side, Calabanian mechanized forces continue to establish formidable defensive positions to counter attacks from forces attempting to retake their positions. Calabanian forces employed mobile defense, a military strategy that uses the active movement of defensive forces to respond quickly to enemy threats or incursions. It maintains flexibility, maneuverability, and concentration at critical points of engagement. This approach involves tactics like ambushes, hit-and-run attacks, counter-attacks, and reserves to keep the enemy off balance. Mobile defense is effective when the defending force is outnumbered or faces a technologically superior adversary.
Ladies and gentlemen, you will shortly witness the Royal Australian Air Force F-35 Alpha Lightning II conduct a close air support mission in support of the ground combat element, landing on the beach landing site to your front and slight right. This close air support serial is to be augmented by naval gun support provided by HMAS Anzac in support of manoeuvring ground force elements.
You are now observing the amphibious assault carried out by the armed forces of the Philippines landing force. As they approach the designated beach landing site, utilizing the amphibious assault vehicles of the Philippine Marine Corps. Amphibious assault vehicles, or AAVs, are armored vehicles designed to operate both on land and at sea. They have the capacity to transport up to 21 combat-loaded personnel. These vehicles play a crucial role in bridging the gap between ships and the shore, providing armored protection along with substantial fire support capabilities. They're equipped with 40mm automatic grenade launchers and 50 caliber machine guns. AAVs are capable of operating in water with a maximum speed of 8 knots. The AAVs are currently releasing wide smoke to create cloud cover and screening for the landing force. Once they reach the shore, the AAVs will need to transition from water jet mode to land mode to engage in subsequent operations on land. AUVs continue to soften targets through the use of 40mm automatic grenade launchers and 50 caliber machine gun against enemy positions. Now witnessing the AAVs unfold the tramp to enable the Marine Infantry to disembark. As the troop commander deems it suitable to dismount the Marine Infantry, he orders, "Dismount! Dismount! Dismount!" prompting the Marine Infantry to begin their disembarkation procedures. As the Marine Infantry disembarks, the commander ensures that his troops assume a line formation facing the enemy location. In every amphibious assault, the AAVs provide fire support as the Marine Infantry maneuver into a line formation facing the enemy. Furthermore, the Marine Infantry leads the charge and is the first to fight in clearing the beachhead.
Ladies and gentlemen, to your front, the landing force is now conducting its simultaneous air mobile, surface and ground manoeuvre. The air mobile combat team are being inserted by the US Marine Corps V-22 Osprey assault support aircraft with the tactical task to secure and mark the forming up point for follow-on ground combat force elements. The surface and ground manoeuvre is being conducted by the remaining elements of the ground combat element. This ground combat element is predominantly based on elements from the Philippines Marine Corps and the Australian Army's 3rd Brigade, and includes an infantry battalion from the 1st Battalion, the Royal Australian Regiment, an M1A1 Abrams tank that you can see disembarking onto the beach shortly from the 2nd Cavalry Regiment, engineers from the 3rd Combat Engineer Regiment, logistics from the 3rd Combat Service Support Battalion, signallers from the 3rd Combat Signals Regiment, and medical teams from the 4th Health Battalion. Ladies and gentlemen, the Air Mobile Combat Team has now completed its insertion and will move to secure the forming up point. This, coupled with the landing of the M1A1, a tank capability and follow-on forces, will set the conditions for the ground combat element to tactically fire and manoeuvre to advance to and clear the enemy outposts and main defensive position.
What you're witnessing is the fire and maneuver tactics of the Marine Amphibious Ready Unit, which is engaged in eliminating enemy positions on the beach and preparing to conduct sustained operations shore or continuous operations on land. They will strategically advance towards their assigned objective within the secured sector, which was previously cleared by special forces and personnel transported via MB-22 Osprey aircraft. The Filipino and Australian forces systematically captured the enemy's beachfront battle positions, and the flag has already been taken down. Simultaneously, Calabanian forces in the southern sector initiate a counterattack utilizing their mechanized assets. What you are observing ahead, ladies and gentlemen, is an armored vehicle emerging from concealment and advancing towards the beachhead to attempt to repel the onslaught by the Filipino and Australian forces. Ladies and gentlemen, to the right of the stage or of the tower, you can now observe the Calabanian forces initiating a counterattack utilizing their mechanized assets. The armored vehicle has emerged from its concealment and will be advancing towards a beachhead to attempt to repel the onslaught by the Filipino and Australian forces.
Ladies and gentlemen, to your slight right, you will now witness the M1A1 Abrams tank capability conducting its advance. ladies and gentlemen, you will shortly witness the Royal Australian Air Force F-35 Alpha Lightning II conduct a second close air support serial in order to destroy the enemy armoured counter-attack to your front.
The enemy forces refused to surrender and have persistently displayed their determination to maintain their defensive positions. As a last resort move, the enemy unleashes their concealed armor asset in the southern sector. Meanwhile, remaining enemy forces in the main battle position continue to resist the advance of the Filipino and Australian forces. At this juncture, may we request the President and front row guests to proceed at the rear side of the tower to witness the final assault of the combined Filipino and Australian forces.
Ladies and gentlemen, the southern and northern sectors are being secured by the combined Australian and Filipino forces and are now consolidating in preparation for their final assault on the main enemy battle position. The battle position is located to your slight left. You'll note the manoeuvre conducted by the Australian Protected Mobility Vehicle, enabled by an attack by fire position from the M1A1 tank at your half left. Ladies and gentlemen, this ground manoeuvre is being supported by a naval gun support from HMAS Anzac on targets of engagement on the main defensive position in support of ground manoeuvre. Ladies and gentlemen, you're now witnessing the direct fire support weapons platoon establishing a support by fire position to your front in support of a ground manoeuvre. The F-35 Alpha conducting a last flypast. Disbanded assault force has moved to its FUP, which is obscured by the tree line to your slight left, with the DFSW Direct Fire Support Weapons Platoon providing support by fire to that assault force.
The enemy forces refuse to surrender and have persistently displayed determination to maintain their defensive positions. Remaining enemy forces in the main battle position continue to resist the advance of the Filipino and Australian forces. Infantry has already disembarked and dismounted the AAVs.
Ladies and gentlemen, the smoke screen you can see to your slight left signifies the commencement of the assault from the ground forces from the forming up position, crossing the line of departure en route to the main defensive position. This manoeuvre, supported by the direct fire support weapons platoon M1A1 Abrams tank and the amphibious assault vehicles from the Philippines Marine Corps provides multiple dilemmas for the enemy in the main defensive position. Direct Fire Support Weapons Platoon have now switched fire onto the right-hand target in order to enable the assault force to your left a freedom of action on the defensive position. position is arrayed in a right forward and right left. You can see the infantry achieving break-in on the right forward or left as you look at it from your position. They'll now move to exploit that position whilst the direct fire support weapons platoon concentrate fire on the right-hand enemy position, which is indicated by the red flag. Philippines Marine Corps amphibious assault vehicles are postured to provide a cut-off for any withdrawing enemy forces out of the main defensive position. To your front, you'll see the lead elements of the assault force moving to clear the second position to your slight right.
With the main enemy encampment now secured, the red enemy flag is lowered. and the Filipino flag is raised in its place, symbolizing the successful recapture of Zambales from the enemy forces.
Blood has been spilled, lives has been lost, but the Battle of Zambales has been won with the courage and strong determination of the combined Filipino and Australian forces. It significantly shows the true strength and power of cooperation, and we can do much more if we work hand in hand, and together we will be better. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes today's combined amphibious operation of Exercise Alon 2023. To our Commander-in-Chief, to the Deputy Prime Minister, to our distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, maraming salamat po at mabuhay tayong lahat. Huwa!